My name is Paul Cook, and I'm the creative producer at MMG Events. And this next tip in our series of speaker tips is all about crafting your message. You're a speaker, you've been invited to go and be on a panel, or maybe you're doing a keynote speech, or maybe you're doing a workshop. But the point is that it's really important that you know what the message is before you begin. Now, that may sound a little obvious, and indeed it is, but to be thinking about how you're going to influence and impact your audience is vital. Before you start messing around, putting PowerPoints together, getting videos, getting all of those kind of things, what do you want at the end of your session to have achieved with your audience? That is a fundamental thing to think about right at the outset. And then everything else comes from that. So what do you want? What is the key message? What have you been asked to deliver? What does a client want you to say, which impacts on the audience? Once you've got that in mind, then you can start thinking about whether you need other materials. Are you going to deliver without any props, without any video, without any PowerPoint? Because you don't need to have them. There's no rule book that says you need a PowerPoint because you're putting on a presentation. It's a default that many people have gone to, but it's not needed. If you are using PowerPoint, then think about how it's going to support your message. Think about the size of the fonts that you're going to use. Think about the colors as well, not least because we have people we need to cater for everybody, and we don't want them to be using kind of telescopes to be able to try and find the letters. So make sure the font size is good. Color contrast as well. If you put white writing on a yellow background, that's probably going to be quite hard to pick out. So really think about what you're doing there. And if you have a video and you want that as support material, let the production crew know the time when it begins, the time when it ends for the segment that you want to show. Because after all, they can't guess. They don't know which pieces of that video that you want. But remember as well that a video is an aid. It's not your talk. Your talk has to be full of the nuggets of vital information that are going to be good for your audience. So use PowerPoint and use video if you need, but only use them to support the message. Stick clear of jargon as much as you can. Sometimes it's impossible, I know, but most of the time you can use different words that will get the same meaning across. And if you lose one member of your audience, you've effectively excluded them. So just because you know the jargon of the industry doesn't mean that everybody in the audience will do. And also finally, let's have a think about your introduction. Your introduction can be given to a host who will read out who you are and what you do, but make it short and snappy. We don't need your life history. Yes, it's good for you, but the audience are not there for that. They're equally not there to know how many offices there are that your company has across the globe. 50 offices worldwide means nothing. What the people have come for is basically the nuggets, the wisdom that they're going to pick up as a result of listening and spending time in your session. So when it comes to crafting your message, just think about how you're going to be as relevant as possible to the audience, and then everything else just needs to flow from there.